What I've got here is a really big canvas, and we need to fill it up. Someone actually commissioned me to make this. I know, people make bad money decisions. They wanted a pretty substantial canvas size. Maybe they have some animals this art can scare off. This is the picture they sent as inspiration. It is basic as hell. I mean, Mickey and Minnie Mouse have been done to the point of cringe. But hey, we need to make some money. I'm going to show you how to DIY this, so you can hand off bad art as gifts. If you give it to your relatives, they won't be able to say that it's bad. They will even probably congratulate you on the good work. You might even be able to guilt trip them into hanging it on the wall. In some future video, I will teach you how to extort your relatives to buy your trash art. Speaking of trash, if you have some old comics, they will come in handy. Rip up your trash comic or print one, either will work. This is going to be the background, and as you know, on this channel when we make a background we cover it completely, rendering all previous work obsolete. You're going to need glue for this part. The cheaper, the better, as you're going to need a lot of it. I picked the child-safe, non-toxic one, as I can't be trusted around toxic things. Adding money to the picture can be a good motivator to go out and make some. There is no better motivator for making money than not having any. This might be a harsh reality after paying me to make this. The biggest fear for me while doing this is that glue will give up at some point, causing this to disintegrate. But I have found a loophole. If your painting does turn to ash, you can always blame it on sun exposure and the UV rays. If the Mona Lisa has to be protected, then so does this. I don't care about leaving glue marks, because if I stand far enough away, I won't be able to see them. You should leave this to dry completely before starting to paint over it. But since the glue is non-toxic, I have no motivation to carry it outside my room to dry, and I'm really impatient. We are going to make a stencil and streamline this as much as possible. The dark parts are the ones being cut, so you have to imagine an inverted thing, kind of. You get it. This isn't the first time you see a stencil. I bring the weirdest things to be printed at the copy shop, and the guy working there never once asked me what I was doing. He just gives me these awkward looks as if he disapproves. He's yet to disapprove to print something, so here is the stencil. Yeah, the copy shop was closed, so all I have is this empty piece of paper. There is another tool we can use, which is imagination. I guess this was supposed to be a DIY, so welcome to your stencil tutorial. First, you need to use the hamster wheel inside your head to generate something you would like to draw. If that fails, find something on Pinterest. Make sure you draw big, thick lines, because we are going to cut them later. Look at them juicy lines. I should really learn to cut these things effectively, but it is too much effort for my liking. This is just a simulation of me cutting it out, because I don't want to show accidental injury on camera. There are two solutions to my lack of scissors skill. Either I will start taking regular tetanus shots, or I will upgrade to plastic scissors. The latter will be too much mockery, I think. The first time I filmed this, My fan was on and blew the stencil right off the table. So this is a shot of me pretending to know what I'm doing. Remember how I say sketches are just coloring books? Well, this is a coloring book without the risk of coloring over the lines. You can factory belt this process, get proficient at it, pop out a Christmas worth of bad art presents in a weekend. If you're legally allowed to own spray paint, you can do it with that. Make it even better. Pretend you are Banksy. At some point, we have to release the Frankenstein's monster hiding under the stencil. I'm really messy with my work, which is also called the abstract in the art world. So I always have an anxiety before lifting the stencil. Well, this is something. I've seen bird droppings have a more uniform shape. Perhaps gift this to a relative with bad eyesight. Tell them it's a Jackson Pollock. Well, back to the regular programming. Having no stencil leaves us to freehand this. Shaky hands make shaky lines. I'm doing my best to give as much resemblance to the original as I can, but when I freehand, I tend to spice things up. Add some MSG, add that razzle-dazzle of nutmeg into the stew. You know, when you look at some X-ray shots and without any medical knowledge, you can tell something is wrong? Well, this feels something like that. Like some things are where they're not supposed to be. We have to color it. Even though I would rather retire it to firewood. If it becomes so bad that I need a retina transplant after looking at it, we will add something to cover it a bit. At least when Halloween comes around, they can just wear it on their neck, run down the street, leave any passers-by with lifelong crippling trauma. I should call this painting a fever dream, because it doesn't seem possible for something so horrible to exist, but at the same time, it is real as life. I sometimes hate that my talent is limited to making everything look like a Rorschach test. You know how art therapy is used to treat certain conditions? Well, this is the opposite. Art-induced trauma. We are going to add some brand logos to distract the onlooker from the soul-sucking vortex in the middle. Maybe this will add some hidden value to the painting, or at least some more flammable paint to make better firewood. There was a saying that each man gets 3 opportunities in life to make something great. Apparently, I missed all 3 of them, and am destined to be surrounded by bad art and even worse video ideas. What if I sign across the whole painting, covering most of it, and call that art? It would be a more original piece than this. Wow. I think this is the best one yet. Thank you for listening to my life crisis moment. I often forget the trust the process motto. I'm really pleased with the finished product. Comment below if you want me to draw something. My name has been Epic Art, and thank you for watching this video.